Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. JDF probing Denhamton altercation involving soldiers. The Jamaica Defense Force JDF has launched a probe into the altercation involving soldiers and residents in Denhamton, Kingston on Wednesday. The incident was caught on camera, which has gone viral. At one point, a soldier was seen beating a man with his rifle. Residents have accused the soldiers of using excessive force. As part of the probe, the Army says it is committed to ensuring that appropriate actions will be taken as deemed necessary. The JDF is urging residents of communities within which the security forces are required to operate to cooperate with its personnel as they seek to ensure the safety and security of residents within these spaces. Denhamton is one of several areas under a zone of special operations. The JDF says it is committed to working with the Jamaica Constabulary Force in re-evaluating how the challenges in the community may be better managed. Anyone with information on the incident may contact JDF tip line at 876-837-8888. Soldier among 3 in custody after shootout with police. 3 men, including a soldier, were taken into custody earlier yesterday after members of the security forces reported to repel an attack by armed thugs in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. 2 firearms and a police ballistic vest were also seized, the police have confirmed. Superintendent Howard Chambers, commanding officer for the St. Catherine North Police, said a team was about to commence cordon and search operations along Johns Road when they came under gunfire from a group of men. The fire was returned and the men ran in different directions, Chambers said. However, 3 of them were held, including the soldier and a man who was found suffering from gunshot wounds. The men are to be interviewed by investigators, Chambers stated. Kingston woman in rental scam pleads guilty. A Kingston woman who defrauded another in a house rental scam was found guilty in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Shawnake Rainford, 34, was charged with conspiracy to defraud, receiving stolen property, and making available data for the commission of an offense. She was charged by the police fraud squad on April 11. The facts of the case are that on December 31st last year, the complainant, 28-year-old paralegal Chantal Spike, saw a website advertising a 2-bedroom house for rent on Waterloo Road in St. Andrew for $55,000. Spike called the number and a male voice instructed her to wire the money to a bank account. She was informed that she could view the premises later that day, but the time was later changed to January 3rd. Spike contacted the gentleman listed on the website on January 3rd, but when she got no response, she visited the premises. She discovered then that the house was being rented for more money on a different website. She reported the matter to the fraud squad. Rainford, who admitted to giving her bank account to someone for use, was ordered by the court to make restitution. She only had $20,000, which she paid to the complainant. She is to return to court on June 1 with the balance. Spike is making a special plea to people who are fleecing by scammers to report the matter to the police and attend court. She is also commending the fraud squad for dealing expeditiously with the investigation in her case. I was surprised to see how many cases similar to mine have to be put off because the complainants did not turn up, she said. Salesman accused of $1.4 million robbery freed. A Kingston salesman accused of robbing a bearer at gunpoint of approximately $1.4 million worth of high-end cell phones last April was acquitted when he appeared in the Home Circuit Court yesterday. Kemar Lee and 3 alleged accomplices reported to rob the complainant of 7 iPhones. Lee was, however, found not guilty of illegal possession of a firearm, robbery with aggravation, and assault charges by Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick. Allegations are that on April 7, 2021, the bearer went to Waterhouse in St. Andrew to carry out a delivery when he was held up and robbed by Lee and 3 other persons, including a woman. He reported the matter and Lee was arrested and charged. However, during the trial, attorney at law Shamar Hansen, who represented Lee, challenged the witness identification of his client. He also argued that there were credible issues in relation to the prosecution's witnesses. The judge in the end also found that there were serious issues with the main witness testimony and identification, and as a result found Lee not guilty. Agriculture Minister taking steps to address food crisis concerns, says Charles Jr. Agriculture Minister Colonel Charles Jr. says his ministry is taking steps to boost food security and resilience amid food crisis concerns. Having recorded the highest levels of domestic crop production in our country, we acknowledge those risks which will impact the inflow of goods, particularly those used in our manufacturing sector, said Charles Jr. He said the Agriculture Ministry has been working with stakeholders to identify alternative sources of supply while also advancing research and development of alternatives for animal feed, fertilizer, and food options. So far, viable alternatives have been identified for critical inputs which will be affected through supply chain challenges. The Agriculture Minister said that the ministry has bolstered its effort to attain sustainable food security by employing a strategic and deliberate approach to continue to invest in the sector, boost production, and improve resilience to potential shocks or disruptions that may arise. Our reality in Jamaica is that over the past year we significantly increased our domestic crop production from 697,679 tons in 2020 to 770,456 tons in 2021, reflecting a growth of 10.4% for the period. Additionally, during the first 3 months of 2022, domestic crop production continued to increase, recording a 10.5% increase over the similar period, reflecting 212,000 tons, the highest level recorded for an individual quarter, he said. He said the Agriculture Ministry intends to sustain these gains by developing a long-term approach. Our strategy is focused on prioritizing availability, affordability, consistency, and to ensure the improved nutrition of the Jamaican populace. Within this context, the ministry is advancing initiatives that will focus on feed, fertilizer, other agricultural inputs, and the environment. Further, steps are being taken to ensure the sustained availability of food through increased production levels and expanding our initiative programs. Bartlett calls for full debate on tourism recovery challenges. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett has called for a full debate at the United Nations and relevant agencies on the challenges to tourism recovery arising from the COVID-19 pandemic. Bartlett said the discussion should focus on resilience building through funding for small island developing states that are highly tourism dependent but weakly resourced. He noted that the issue of supply chain disruptions in terms of goods and services, as well as human capital, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, had made the prospect of an equitable recovery challenging. Bartlett was delivering his keynote address at the United Nations General Assembly Roundtable on Wednesday under the theme, "For People, Leaving No One Behind Through Inclusive Tourism." It was part of the General Assembly high-level thematic debate on putting sustainable and resilient tourism at the heart of an inclusive recovery held at the UN headquarters in New York. The debate was organized in collaboration with the United Nations World Tourism Organization, the United Nations Development Programme, the United Nations Environment Programme, and the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Health Ministry moving to clear backlog of elective surgeries. An additional 1,000 surgeries will be conducted in the public health system over the next 10 months under a special initiative called Code Care. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton said that the intervention is aimed at clearing the backlog of elective surgeries in hospitals due to the coronavirus COVID-19 priorities. Since March 2020, many hospitals have had to suspend the normal processing of elective surgeries, which has resulted in the extension of the length of time that persons wait for these operations, sometimes up to 2 years, he said. The longest wait periods are for cataracts, oral cancers, sinus cancers, thyroid cancers, and undescending testes. Tufton was making his contribution to the 2022-2023 sectoral debate in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. He said that the government will be working with healthcare professionals across the diaspora who visit Jamaica for special surgery sessions to provide more efficient arrangements and access to hospital facilities and target elective surgeries with the longest wait. We will do this in conjunction with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade and our missions overseas, as well as through our health ministries, National Healthcare Enhancement Foundation, he indicated. In addition, approximately $300 million is to be provided to repair and, where necessary, maintain operating theaters so that they can perform more efficiently and for longer hours to drive more throughput. The Health Ministry will also partner with private sector health facilities to provide surgery and recovery spaces to augment existing facilities. Cold care will be planned and executed by the Office of the Chief Medical Officer. 123 new COVID cases recorded amid 2 deaths. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is reporting that 123 new COVID-19 cases were recorded over a 24-hour period up to Wednesday afternoon. 2 COVID-19 deaths that occurred from January to February were also recorded on Wednesday, bringing the overall coronavirus death toll in Jamaica to 2,972. An 70-year-old woman from St. James and a 99-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew are the latest recorded COVID-19 fatalities nationally. There were 170 recoveries in the day, bringing that tally to 84,044. The newly confirmed cases brought the total number on record for the island to 130,596. Notably, the island recorded a 10.6% positivity rate based on the samples that were tested on Wednesday. Of the newly confirmed cases, 74 are females and 49 are males, with ages ranging from 69 days to 88 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 31, St. Catherine 26, St. James 19, St. Anne 17, Clarendon 7, Westmoreland 6, St. Thomas 5, Manchester 5, Trelawney 4, Portland 1, St. Elizabeth 1, and St. Mary 1. There are 14 moderately ill patients, 2 severely ill patients, and 2 critically ill patients among 990 active cases now under observation in Jamaica. A total of 39 COVID-19 patients are now hospitalized locally. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.